So today we're going to go over gas fireplace summer shutdown and how to go about opening it up and cleaning the glass. So depending on where you live, they say that the pilot light in various appliances consumes about $5 of gas a month. So where I live, the gas fireplace isn't used for half the year. So I mean, it's not significant savings. You'd basically be shutting off the pilot light for 6 months, so that's maybe $30 in gas, and you know, in certain places gas is cheaper than others, but you know, it doesn't make sense to run the pilot light if you don't need it, especially if you're going to save $5 a month. Also, before you open up the door, it could be warm. I mean, the pilot light isn't going to make it ridiculously hot, but there will be some heat there. So, you know, this is showing about 35 degrees Celsius, and the ambient temperature in here is about 21. So it's definitely hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut it off, and we're going to start doing some cleaning, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open the access panel underneath the gas fireplace. And here you'll see the instructions that are legally required to be physically attached to the fireplace. And it'll give you instructions on how to stop, start, and you know, lighting the pilot light and, you know, allowing the fireplace to run. But what we're going to want to do first is we're going to want to turn off the pilot light. So right now it's in the on setting. So we're just going to twist this by pushing it in slightly to pilot, and then pushing it in and twisting it to the off setting. There we go. Now while we're waiting for the residual pilot light heat to cool off on the glass, we can use a dry erase cloth, or sorry, a dry wipe cloth to start cleaning off the lower louvers of the fireplace. Just tuck that back in there, flip this back up, and then essentially we're just dusting the louvers. And, you know, just take note that they could be sharp depending on, you know, how well it was manufactured. So we're just doing a quick dust here. Alright, now in preparation for opening up the glass door, we're going to disassemble the upper louvers and wipe them down as well. So you basically just push up on the louvers, and they're just held in with gravity. There's really nothing special. They just slide into these slots here. And we would need to get these out of the way because there's the latch for the door is right here. And this is what we need to open to gain access to open up the door of the fireplace. So we'll dust that, and we'll dust these slats here. Okay, the fireplace is cool now, so now we're ready to open the door. So the slats on the top have been removed, and again they just slide up and out. And this is the latch on the top of the door, and it's basically just a cam latch. So you just put your hand behind it, flip this up, and lift out the latch. Now there's also another one on the bottom that will open. Okay, and now we'll open the bottom cam latch. So we'll just open up this bottom door, and then same thing, just pull down on the latch and let it fall, and then the door just swings open. I forgot a step. We need to remove this piece here, which slides straight out. Again, just a friction fit, and then the door swings open, just like that. Now here we go. The gas fireplace is open. Now the part that I generally have issue with is this door. It gets kind of foggy, and you can sort of see it on the shallow angle of this camera shot, is it's kind of got a very light dusting of, I don't know, just soot on it. And so I like to clean that off so the fireplace looks nice and clean. The problem I have is this back wall. It's supposed to be black, but it's got these layers of discoloration from the fire being in there. Now my fear is that if I try to clean it, I'm going to make it look streaky or weird, whereas right now it actually looks quite natural the way it is. So I generally don't touch the back portion, but you can. And all you need to do is just take out these little pieces here and remember how they're arranged. And you can dust them off or clean them as you see fit. There are little bits of who knows what in here. Could be fiberglass, could be asbestos. Probably not. This fireplace is way too new for that to be asbestos, but if you've got an older gas fireplace and you're suspicious, just remember the rules with asbestos. If it's friable, like if you can, mess around with it, don't, just don't touch it. And just, clean your glass and then leave it be. But right now, I'm just going to clean this glass and just using some regular sprayable glass cleaner, and now we're going to close the door. I'm just going to make sure everything's all nicely dusted. And again, be careful of sharp edges in here. The manufacturer, I'm sure, didn't intend for people to be regularly in here, so there's a good chance there could be sharp edges on different bits of the sheet steel. So we're just going to close the door, and again, it's got the cam lock up top, so you just put the cam lock in place, and then you just press the cam down to lock the door into place, and then same thing on the bottom. You just put the cam lock into place, and then flick it into position. Now I'm going to clean the front of the glass. And this is a good time to do it because the glass is nice and cool with the pilot light off. And sometimes the staining on the front of the glass can be quite significant because it gets incredibly hot when the fireplace is on. So you might find there's some very difficult to remove things on the glass. If you have kids or pets that get debris on the glass. But my wife is always freaked out with the dog and the kids near this glass because she knows how hot it gets. That doesn't look too bad. No, it's okay. Okay, now we'll reassemble the upper portion of the fireplace. I'm just going to make sure this upper piece is nice and clean. And so remember, this one just slides into these two tabs here and here. So you can center it and slide it in. Just push it back as far as it'll go. Normally you don't need to get nuts with it. And then we have the three slats that just slide in, and we start from the top and work our way down. So we'll take the top one, position it in those tabs, and you just want to make sure it's relatively even from side to side, which this isn't. There we go. And then we'll take the next slat, and we'll drop it in, again making sure it's relatively even. And you just want to pull it down as far as it'll go, but don't force anything. And then the final slat here. Drop it into position. And then make sure it's sitting where it should. Perfect. Okay, now the top section's complete. Alright, now we're going to finish up with the bottom of the fireplace. Just going to make sure it's all dusted in here. And again, look for sharp bits of metal, because I'm sure it was never intended to have people's hands regularly in here. So when it comes time to lighting the pilot light again, all these gas fireplaces are relatively similar. The instructions will be attached here with what you need to do, but like on a fireplace like this, what you're expected to do is you turn this knob to pilot by pushing in this knob and turning it to the pilot setting. And then you actually have to push the knob in to run the gas, and then you press the igniter there, and hopefully the pilot light would burn, and you have to hold that in to keep it burning. So we're going to do that again. Hit the piezo igniter. And I don't know if you can see the flame there, but it's running. So you're basically expected to hold this button down for about a minute. And what it's doing is actually reasonably clever. It's got, it's like a bimetallic piece in there. And what it does is the heat from the pilot light can actually generate enough electricity to allow the switch on the wall to turn the fireplace on and off. So your fireplace doesn't actually need to be wired to the house breaker. So all you have to do is just have the pilot light running, and then this thing can turn itself on and off. So when we have power outages, this fireplace actually is our primary source of heat. And fortunately we don't have power outages very often. So once the pilot light has warmed that thing up, you can actually release it and turn it to the on position, and then the pilot light will just run continuously until you turn the fireplace on. But it's summertime for me, so I'm going to turn this off, and we'll turn it back on in October. Alright, job done. Thanks for watching.